Hey guys, how you doing? This is Juan with Liberty Graphic Designs, and today I'm going to teach you, or I'm going to show you how we make mask. So don't go anywhere. Right after the intro, we're going to start making this mask. Okay, so you've probably seen this mask everywhere. They call it the 3D mask, and I'm going to show you how to make, or how we make them. I actually use the Camfive laser machine, laser cutter and engraver to cut my patterns. And in the past, this is how I used to do my patterns. I will cut them out in paper. This is cardstock, so I will cut them out in cardstock or paper or anything, right? And then transfer this over to my fabric. Well, now, since Camfive sent us this nice laser, we just cut them on the laser. We just make a DXF file, and you know, the laser cuts it for us, fuses the fabric so it doesn't move. No need for pins or anything when you're sewing them. So this machine is awesome. I have everything turned off right now because it gets very loud. And I got everything turned off, so I'm gonna turn everything back on, and all you're gonna see, more than likely, is just gonna see a time lapse again because of it being so loud. I already cut all this fabric, so I'm gonna have a different type of fabric in here. It looks like the grid of the what do you call it, the laser engraver, but trust me, it's fabric. And then we're gonna cut this pink one right here. So we're gonna make some pink mask, some blue ones, and obviously the one I'm wearing. So let me turn everything on. Again, it's gonna get very loud, and you'll see a time lapse. So more than likely you're hearing all that noise, you know, from the extractor. Kind of sounds like a industrial vacuum cleaner. But I'm gonna get the camera real close so you guys can see when the machine is actually cutting the patterns. It's not cutting the mask, it's cutting the patterns. It's gonna be cutting this right here. Then we're gonna sew it. Then I'm gonna cut another one, but this one is gonna be for youth. So that's it. This is the ones for youth. And that's how much waste you have. So you have a little bit of waste, but okay. So now we're gonna cut this pink one. Okay, so we have our patterns ready to sew. We already cut them using the Camfive laser engraver / cutter, as you saw on the on this video, obviously, right? And guys, let me say something about that. If you guys are designers, if you guys are making face masks, especially if you're like a designer where you're making high-end face masks or clothing, suits, whatever you guys are doing, it makes a lot of sense to get a laser cutter, because if you want to make a design, like for example, if you want to make just one design to see what it looks like, you don't have to send it in to somebody to do the whole sewing and cutting and you know, all that stuff. You can actually make your own modifications, alterations, if you have the means to cut it. That's what I'm saying. A laser engraver makes a lot of sense, or a laser cutter makes a lot of sense. So if you guys are in the market for a laser, make sure you check Camfive. And I have on the description below, I have a link to Camfive laser, so you can check them out. And if you guys are in the market for a laser, check them out. Use promo code liberty01, and you're gonna get a discount when you purchase one of these lasers, or when you purchase parts for your lasers, you know, like consumables and stuff like that. Somebody asked me a question. Hey Juan, if I buy an embroidery machine from Camfive, will the code work? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask Alberto or Carlos. I'm gonna ask Carlos to see if the code will work on embroidery machines. I'm assuming it will, but you never know. Again, you know, having a laser cutter on hand, it's very, very nice. It makes a lot of sense. It's a no-brainer. Well, with that being said, let's get to sewing. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sew all the way around. And as you can see on the one I'm wearing, I'm pretty sure you already seen a lot of videos about this quote-unquote 3D. They call it 3D face mask. Ever since I saw it, I was like, dude, I want to make one of those. They're pretty cool. They look really nice. They're always sewing their elastic to the mask. I don't do that, because if your elastic breaks, then you're gonna have to re-sew another one, and now you're gonna have to sew it where it's gonna be shown. This one's, I actually create a little pocket, and you will see it in a little bit. I create a pocket and I stick my elastic right through the pocket. That way, if your elastic breaks, all you gotta do is just buy another one, stick it right through there, tie a knot, and wear your mask again. It's more convenient. I think it's more convenient. So let me show you how to sew this mask. Again, real quick, I'm gonna be sewing from the top, and I'm gonna be sewing all the way around, and I'm gonna leave a pocket at about, I want to say about 2 inches, maybe smaller than that, so I can turn the mask right side out. So let me point the camera to this sewing machine so you guys can see how it's sewn. Okay, so I'm using an industrial sewing machine, a Juki 8100. So, but you don't, I mean, if you have just a house machine, you can do it with that. You don't have to be using any fancy stuff. And I'm using, right now, I'm gonna be doing about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And let's start. So you want to sew all the way around, right? You can do a 1/4 seam allowance. I'm doing 1/8, because when I fold it right side out or right side in, whichever one it is, you have a better fit. You know, if you put your needle down when you go to turn it, it's a lot easier. So try to keep the needle down when you go to turn. See, like right now the needle's up, I'm gonna bring it down, and now I can turn. And remember, I gotta leave a gap of 1.5 to 2 inches so I can turn my mask inside out. And don't forget to go back a couple of stitches so you can lock it in place. Take it out, cut it, and then we're just going to trim this excess thread. Okay, so what I was saying is if you sew like really close to the edge, Okay, so what I was saying, if you sew, you can't even see it, but if you sew really close to the edges, you don't have to worry about when you flip it over. You don't have to worry about having too much buildup, especially on the corners, because I'm literally 1/8 of an inch from the corner. So even when I flip it over, I won't have any extra material there. So now what we do is we're gonna flip it right side out, so we can continue on with the sewing. And then make sure you push all the corners out. You can either, I usually use my finger. You can use a pen, you can use a stick or something to push your corners out, because you don't want them, you want them to be sticking out so you have a better fit, and you're not going to be struggling. So that's what I'm doing right now. Pushing the corners out, so when I go to sew, I'm not fighting those corners. I think I missed one over here. There you go. So see, now I got the fabric right side out, and then I'm gonna start sewing. So I usually start right here. Here's the hole that I left right there. So that's where I start. I do not use an iron, you know, because some people iron it so they can have a flat surface. I don't. If you pull it tight enough, it'll actually create the little fold itself. As you can see, there's the hole, and if I pull it, it closes. So I'm gonna start sewing, and again, you want to get as close as possible to the edge. That way your mask has a better look and a better fit. And the hole, just so you know, the hole that I left, or the gap, is right there. So I'm gonna sew right through it, and that's gonna close the gap. And right here, I have to be careful, you know, not to go over, making sure that I stop on those corners, because we're gonna need those as reference later on. And because this is a mask, I always use gloves when I'm sewing mask, and wear a mask, because we do sell this mask. If you're using it for yourself and you don't want to wear gloves, or you don't want to wear a mask, you know, that's fine. But if you're gonna be selling them, make sure you wear some sort of protection. See, like on this corner right there, I just noticed that I didn't pull it all the way. That's gonna be a little round, and I'm gonna leave it like that because I want to show you what's gonna happen whenever I go in the next step. And this is the last piece of sew that we have to do. And remember to lock it by going back a couple of stitches. Trim your excess. And now what you want to do is you want to go from this corner to this corner and fold it. There's other videos out there that are more technical. They'll tell you, you know, fold it 1.5 inches, fold it 1.25 inches, I'm sorry, 1 3/4 inches. Me, I just go from that corner to this corner and create a crease. And notice how I am not using an iron. I'm just, you know, using my hands, hold it in place, and sew it. And again, sew as close as possible to the edge. That one, yeah, that one's still there. So you lock it, and I know you cannot see the thread. Let me see if I can help it with this light. But you cannot see the thread. Trust me, it's like right there. You can see it if I try to unfold it, right? You'll see it. Oh, can you? Yeah, it's really hard to see, but I'm very close to the edge. Let me trim this thread out. Now we're gonna do the same to the other side. And notice this one is the one that I didn't push all the way, so my corner is not really a corner, it's more like a rounded corner. That's why I said be careful that you push all your corners out so they're nice and sharp. And then I just created a crease with my finger, just enough to where I can hold it over the machine. Don't forget to lock it so it doesn't unravel. Okay, so that's it. Let me trim the excess and trim this right here. Okay, so now what I do is I bring this back to the same edge, the outside edge, and then bring this one, do the same thing, just like that. And that's gonna be my guide for when I fold it over to create the little pocket for the elastic. So, and this one right here, you can actually sew this little zigzag right here. You can sew that. The only bad thing is if you sew that, it's gonna show up on the other side, and the other side, that's your finished product. That's why I don't sew it. I just if you guys wanna iron this, you can. I don't iron it. I just fold it over to meet this corners. So this corner right here, can't even see it, right? But this corner, when you fold it over, I'm sorry guys, the lighting in here is really bad. So when you fold this one over like so, it's gonna meet that corner. So I'm gonna fold this back to match the outside edge. I'm gonna fold this one back. And again, if you guys wanna iron it right here so it helps you, go ahead, iron it. It'll actually help you even more. And then meet this corner with that corner right there. So I just meet both of them. And sew all the way across. Actually, let me clean this. So now I'm going to do the other side. Make sure these are matching to the outside edge. And then fold this over. Oops. And that's it, our mask is ready. It's everything, all the sewing that we needed to do is done. That's it. All I gotta do now is add a couple of elastic bands and we're done. So this is my little trick, guys, to get the elastic right through the pockets that we created. And now see, you don't see any sewings or any seams right here, so you only have one. If you were to secure the little fold that we did, you'll have this sew line right here and here, so you will have a triangle right there. That's why I don't do it, because I don't want to see a triangle there. So this is my little trick to put the elastic band. I grab the elastic and put it on a piece of straw, and then I will grab the straw, run it through excuse me, run it through the pocket that we created. You have to be careful right here so you don't push the fabric out. And then what you want to do is just tie a knot. And this elastic is going to be a little too long for a youth, but it leaves enough room for them to adjust it so they get a nice fit. And then what I do is I just push the knot inside the pocket so you don't see anything. Let me do the other one. And the little straw, it's a really good trick. It's really easy to run your elastic right through there. And then just push it back inside the pocket so you don't see the ugly knot. And that's it. I mean, all you gotta do now is, if you want, you can iron it, you know, like you see everybody do it, where they fold it, they grab it like this, and then they iron it to create that shape. But you don't have to if you don't want to. However, if you do want to customize them, you can. You have plenty of space right here to customize it all the way across. Again, this is what they call a 3D face mask, and this one is for youth. You can add a filter right here, right before you start sewing it. I don't like putting a filter because it makes it really hard to breathe, and especially for youth, you don't want to, you don't want them struggling. So I don't put a filter on mine, and that's it. All we gotta do is just fold it, nice and neat. So yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. It was a pleasure, like always. Make sure you stay safe. You stay home if you have to. Go outside. Make sure you wear a mask and keep your social distance. so yeah, make sure you guys stay safe. It was stay safe. There you go. I can't even talk. Make sure you guys stay safe. It was a pleasure making this video for you guys. I will catch you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and ding the bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. So again, I will catch you on the next one, and see you later now. Ah, my knee! Ah, you see myself on the knee. Ah, it's a good thing I'm wearing a mask. You guys can't see my ugly face. Ah, that sucks. Goodbye now.